Hey guys, and welcome back. So this is a super speedy speed paint because it took me forever because I was still playing around with how to use Clip Studio Paint. Still playing around with how to remember what it's even called. But anyway, I'm doing Millie once again, but this time we have her familiar Day, who is a little kitty cat, and she's learned a bit of magic. And I actually came to quite a dilemma with this, and I'll show it right at the end. But a common, problem I have with my art is when it comes to doing like the final render, and I think I've talked about this a couple times in other videos. We're doing the shadings getting better, but the lighting still throws me off, and that becomes quite an issue with this. So this time I actually tried to put a bit more effort into my line art as well, which is huge. That's not an always happening thing. I've also attempted to draw Day from memory, and I'm not quite sure if that's really even what a cat looks like, but I do go back and fix that, so there's not too much to worry about. But for now he's always unimpressed, but he's super unimpressed right now. Silly kitty. But I wanted to talk a bit about the familiars and this storyline I'm creating, I guess. And on that note, I will be talking rather quietly because it is 4:30 in the morning and I don't want to wake this household. But I'm not asleep, so I thought I'd do something productive. Yay. But yes, so familiars in this world, I did play around with the idea of them being like, what's like the equivalent of a personification? Is it still personification if it's an animal, or is it like animalification? Whatever. I did play around with them being like the animal, like a form of their magic, like they actually came from the witch or wizard. But I've decided to go with more of an idea where magical creatures just exist, like, I guess like a better word in some ways, a mundane animal. Not that I find any animals mundane, but any animal can kind of hold magical properties. And in a way it's kind of like how some storylines have a soulmate kind of thing, but this is like their magic mate. When a witch or wizard's magic appears, their familiar can sense it, and kind of in return they can kind of sense when their familiar is approaching because of picking up on like the connected magic. So that's kind of what I'm going with at the moment. I think I'm going to stick with that because I kind of like the idea that there are like already these magical creatures and they come and find their witch and or wizard, and there's no and, they have one. Unless that's something that could possibly happen and my brain's trying to tell me and I'm ignoring it. But so far I have no plans, I guess, to have a familiar shared. But that's fine. Maybe there could be some twins or something that share a familiar. That could be fun. But for now, no. Okay, see, I do go back and try and do the good thing and use some basic shapes while looking at a photo of a cat, and he looks less ridiculous. And that's always a good thing. I'm pretty sure out of this whole picture, my favourite actually becomes the cat. But the problem I did have was that the line art took me forever. So I flicked the line up here, and then because basic flats are kind of boring, I threw them on, and then chucked a background on to try and make it look like I had a coherent piece. But we all know that's a lie. But that's fine. But yeah, so I have left in here me playing with trying to get the shading and lighting in. Once again, like the brushes on this, why do I always forget what it's called? I really want to say Paint Tool Side, but it's Clip Studio Paint. I see what's happening. But I played more with trying to get kind of a neutral lighting, which was probably silly because I find it's actually kind of best for me to have very pointed lighting, but you know, trying to improve. But I came across that kind of upside down triangle area in her forehead there that has no lighting, no shading. That's always a problem area for me. I gotta do some more references. I also tried to play around with having soft and sharp shadows to try and create a bit of interest, and because not all shadows are sharp, not all are light, but working on it. And I do go over everything several times. I tried to do the darken, and in the end I went to play with a what are they called? A filter. I tried to play with a filter to darken it up a bit, and I actually clicked something. I don't know what it was because I kind of turned to pat my dog, but when I turned back, everything with like the shading layer was very, very dark. Ooh. Excuse me while I yawn. But it worked, so I was kind of happy with that. And now I've just got to try and figure out how on earth to light a piece. And I do kind of wonder if what I'm doing is focusing too much, like giving too much emphasis on the lighting. If that makes sense, like, do I need to have so much lighting? You'll see when I start, especially on the face, I always put in big areas of lighting, and maybe that's what's frustrating me, but who knows? I'm still working that out. But I found the blur, I believe it's called a blur, on this is really nice. I can still get it a wee bit textured, but when I make the brush bigger it'll make it softer, which is super handy because I still kind of like the painterly textures I can get from brushes, but at the same time I'm trying to, what's the word, have a mix, soft and lines and everything, and sometimes I just feel like at least on the skin smoother suits, at least in my style, suits a bit better. Say my style like there is a style going on. The consistency is not even a thing, but we're working on that. But even after painting this, I've actually sat down and I'm going to post it on my Instagram. I've been working on a werewolf family that are kind of like regulars at Millie's flower shop, and it's got poor mama Amelia and her six I said werewolves, but they're not werewolves, they're just shapeshifters. I have been watching Harry Potter, so werewolves on the brain. And guess which one I watched? Oh, there goes the darkening. That's what I mean. See how it all went? I wasn't actually mad with that, but yes. So I've been working on a family of shapeshifters, which has got me thinking about werewolves and were creatures, because I think I like the idea of people being able to transform into animals, but having the inability to control that quite rare. Like, I think I will have it, but it's not going to be very common. Shapeshifters, yes, love them, want them everywhere. Weird creatures, not so much, I think, just because I feel like only having a few will make it a lot more drastic when they do turn up. But the things we work on. And yeah, you see I messed around with the lighting a wee bit because I just can't get it right, and I actually really hate the way the pants were done. And then I just cut it because it was annoying me, because as you can see here, at least I find the flats look a lot better. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye!